Hello everyone. This video is regarding the solutions of your scholarship test which has been taken in last week. Okay. So in this video we are going to cover all the solutions for all the questions of food technology which were there in the exam. We will see detailed solution like why the answer should be that option and why not other options are there. So we will start with the first question. So the very first question over here is alginate is produced from argin, which is a product of which algae? So the options are red, green, blue, or brown. So the correct answer for this particular question is your brown algae. Because what happened? Your algae, basically it is a product of a brown algae. And what is algae composed of? So you should know the composition of algae. So your algae is going to be composed of the D-mannuronic acid and the galacturonic acid. Of these two components, your algae is basically composed of. Now, if you have the single cation like the sodium, potassium, or aluminum, so that will neutralize the algin, the product, and that is called as the alginex. So the correct answer is brown algae. So your algin is made up of a brown algae. The next question is, at what carbon atom position double bond are located in linoleic acid? So basically, all of you know, like we have the fatty acids in which you will have the essential fatty acid and you will have the non-essential fatty acids. Okay, so in which essential one you will have the linoleic and linoleic. So here the question is regarding the structure, like where your double bond is being located. That is, you will have the unsaturated fatty acid over here. So we will see the structure. So in this structure, what you can observe at ninth carbon and at 12th carbon, you have the double bond. Okay, you can see over here, here and here, you have the double bond. So the question was regarding that, like where in linoleic acid your double bond is present at which carbon position. So it is at ninth and the 12th carbon. So basically the answer would be 9 and 12 carbon. Also, if you have the question like the oleic acid, so oleic acid has the double bond at the ninth position. And if the question was regarding the linolenic acid, okay, so in linolenic acid, you will have the three double bonds, and those three double bonds will be at 9, 12th, and 15th carbon. Okay, so remember this not only like for the particular question, the answer is 9 and 12, but also question can be regarding the linolenic acid, it can be regarding the oleic. So you have to remember these options also. So the next question is, which of the following is not the group B vitamin? Okay, all of you know, like in group B, you will have like from vitamin B1 to B12, you will have various type of vitamins. Okay, thiamine, then you will have the niacin, pyridoxine, biotin. Like there are many. So from these, you have to choose which is not the group B vitamin. So pyridoxine, you know B5, cobalamin B12, biotin is B7. But what is this phylloquinone? So this is your vitamin K. So okay, this is vitamin K1. Phylloquinone is vitamin K1. So you have to remember this. The next question is second most abundant mineral in human body is. Now in human body you have the macro and the micro elements basically. So in micro you will have the vitamins and also you will have the minerals. Now the thing is in minerals what you will have some some of the major and some of the minor. That is most abundant and least abundant. Okay, so the second most here the question is second most. So the second most is phosphorus, but the first like most abundant one is your calcium. Okay, so the answer over here is your phosphorus. It is the second most. But if the question is regarding the most abundant, so that then answer should be your calcium. So remember calcium also, like what exactly it is. Now the question is gluten in protein is soluble in what? So your gluten in protein, basically it is going to be soluble in dilute acid solution. So the correct answer is dilute acid solution. Why? Because glutenin is insoluble in neutral solution. If you have the neutral solution, then your glutenin protein will be insoluble. But if that solution is a little bit acidic, that is dilute acid, not strongly acidic, dilute acid or alkali. So at that time, your glutenin protein will be soluble over there. So the correct answer is dilute acid solution. So the next question is enzymic browning can be prevented at which of the following pH condition? Okay, so at which of the following pH condition your enzymatic browning can be prevented? So the correct answer for this is at acidic condition. Okay, when you have the acidic condition, so at that time your enzymatic browning it can be prevented, because alkaline condition it will favors the enzymatic browning. It will not prevent, it will favor. Okay, it will increase the browning. So this can be prevented by if you are going to add any acidulants. So this acidulants means you can add some type of acid. So this acids can be your citric acid, malic acid, or phosphoric acid. So such type of acids you can add over there so that you can prevent your enzymic browning. The next question is main pigment in annatto is. Okay, so the main pigment in annatto basically it is carotenoid, because this have the big in over there, and this will have the carotenoid. So the correct answer for this is carotenoid, because the color in annatto basically it comes from the bixin, and bixin is nothing but it is your carotenoid pigment. Now the question is, which of the following microorganism is responsible for causing the foodborne illness due to consumption of the raw and undercooked seafood? Okay, so whenever the question is widely regarding the raw and undercooked seafood, so remember Vibrio. Okay, Vibrio is the microorganism that is going to be responsible. So here the correct answer is the Vibrio parahemolyticus. It can lead to cholera. Okay, such type of diseases, and all of you know basically these diseases are transferred through the fecal oral route. Okay, most widely they are transferred to the fecal oral route, that through that type of contamination person may get affected. So the correct answer is the Vibrio parahemolyticus. So the next question is, what is the primary role of pasteurization in food processing? So all of you are aware with the pasteurization process, why this process is being done, what is its importance, and the primary role of pasteurization in food processing is eliminating pathogenic bacteria. So to eliminate pathogenic bacteria, you have to perform the pasteurization. And also, in pasteurization, you will have the time temperature phenomenon, which all of you are aware. Now, the next question is, which microorganism is responsible for the formation of the holes, that is eyes, in the Swiss cheese? Now, the thing is, when you go for the cheese processing, so there are many type of cheese. You will have the Roquefort cheese, you will have the Swiss cheese, then many one. Okay, and for each particular type of cheese, there is a particular kind of microorganism. Suppose if you go for the Roquefort cheese, which will you have, where you will have the blue cheese, suppose, for example. So the organism responsible for the Roquefort is the Penicillium roqueforti. Okay. Now, when you will have the Swiss cheese means it will look like this. Like this is your cheese cube, and it will have the holes, or these holes are known as the eyes. So this is the Swiss cheese. So the microorganism responsible is the Propionibacterium frederici. So this is the correct answer. And why holes are there basically? So holes are there through the production of the CO2. Okay, that's why holes are formed. Now, what is the purpose of the serial dilution in microbial plate testing? Okay, so to decrease the concentration of microorganisms in the sample, this is the primary purpose of the serial dilution. Why you do serial dilution? Suppose in one test tube you will have your 9 ml of your solvent, 1 ml of your sample. Then in next test tube, what will you do? You will take 1 ml from this, you will add that in 9 ml. So this is 9 ml already, but diluted 1 ml you are going to add. You are going to continue this. So what will happen? Your concentration is going to be decreased. So the purpose of serial dilution is to decrease the concentration of microorganism in the sample. So this is the correct answer. Now, which agar is used to assess the fungal growth in food product? So basically, the thing is like what you have to basically what you have to calculate, what you have to check. Okay, so on the basis of that, which parameter you have to determine. On the basis of that, your type of media, your type of agar is going to be vary. Also, it is related to the food product. So here the question is you have to assess the fungal growth. So if you have to assess the fungal growth, so your correct answer for this question is your Suberon agar. Okay. If you have to use the selective and differential both type of media, then you can go for the McConkey agar. Or if you have to go with the selective type of media, you can go with the blood agar. Okay, which is very selective in nature. That is, it is going to be useful for only one phenomenon which you have to determine. But here you have to assess the fungal growth. So the correct answer is option D. Okay, and why this agar is being used? Because it has the low pH. Okay, it has the low pH. So what will happen in low pH? Most of the bacteria is going to be killed because the condition will be acidic. Low pH means acidic condition. So most of the microorganisms are going to be killed. So that's why this becomes suitable for the growth of the fungi. So this is the correct answer. Now, the which of the following condition favors the optimum bacterial growth? So, for favoring the optimum bacterial growth, basically the favorable condition is your neutral pH. So, this is the correct answer. Now, if you have the flat sour spoilage in the canned food, so this is caused by what? Now, in the canned food, like canning is also known as the appetization. Basically, in this process, you have to hermetically seal the can, like under the aseptic conditions. You have to seal your cans. Also, you will give the little bit of heat treatment, like you will pasteurize the juice so that your product will become microbe free. So if you have this such type of spoilage in the can, that is the flat sour spoilage. So this is caused by which microorganism? So bacillus is going to be responsible for this, because the thing is, the characteristic of this type of spoilage is, at the end of the processing, your can will remain flat. During the souring process, your can will remain flat, and because of this condition, the you cannot detect the spoilage from outside. Okay, by seeing the can, you cannot detect the spoilage, basically. So that's why what happened, you have to culture the content, whatever content which is present over there in the can. You will just take this out, you will culture it in the petri plate, then you will observe the growth of the colonies. So bacillus, so main organism responsible is the bacillus. Okay, in low acidic food, the bacillus growth is widely seen. So that's why the answer is bacillus. Now you will have the out of seven HACCP regulations, four are given. Now you have to arrange the following in the order which they are applied. Okay, so these like P to S are the four options which are given. Now you have to arrange them. So the first will be your S. Okay, establish the critical limit for each control point. Okay, then you will have the P. P is nothing but then you have to establish the critical control point monitoring system. SP, then R. R will be established corrective action, and then Q. Then at the end, you have to establish the procedure to ensure that whether your intended system is going to be worked or not. Okay, or is it working or not? So the correct answer for this is your SPRQ. Now the next question is 10-degree Brix solution means what? Now 10-degree Brix of solution means basically here what happened now, 1 degree Brix means your 1 gram in your 100 ml of solution. So 10-degree Brix means your 10 gram sugar dissolved in 100 ml of solution. 100 grams of solution. Okay, 10 grams sugar dissolved in 100 grams of solution. So this is the correct answer. Now the fruit and vegetable processing method that retains the highest amount of nutrient and vitamin is. So like rest of the three procedure like canning, dehydration, spray drying will involve some amount of heat in processing, while your freeze drying will not involve any type of heat. So that's why the correct answer is the freeze drying. The next is the process of autolyse in bread making involve what? Now in bread making, you will have the various type of processes. Okay. So the process of autolyse in bread making, it will allow the dough to rest after initial mixing with little amount of water before adding salt and yeast. So the correct answer for this is option number C. Okay. So autolyse is nothing but you will allow your dough to rest, and after that, after the initial mixing with the little amount of water, you will add the salt and the yeast in that. So this is the correct answer. The next question is the objective of the dry milling of corn is to. Now in corn, you will have the two types of milling, wet and the dry. Now what is the objective for the dry milling? So the objective for the dry milling is to remove the bran, germ, and then you have to recover the endosperm. Okay, just option number B. Remove the bran and the germ and then recover your endosperm. So this is the correct option for the dry milling. If the objective was regarding the wet milling, so it would be different. Now, what is the Prandtl number? Prandtl number in heat transfer is analogous to what? Now, you will have the dimensionless number. There are various type of dimensionless number. Okay, so in which this Prandtl number it is there in heat transfer. Now, you have to relate it with the number that is going to be there in the mass transfer. So the correct answer for this is the Skimmed number. Now, in the drying process, what is the critical moisture content referred as? So, critical moisture content in drying, it means no point of return. How? So, see, why you will do the drying process. So, basically, in drying, you are going to remove the moisture. Okay, your moisture content is going to be decreased over a period of a time. Your moisture will decrease. Then as the dyeing process progress, your changes in the texture or in the structure of your food product are going to be seen. Okay, and you will have some other physical and chemical properties over there. Now during the drying, your critical moisture content, the change will be irreversible. There will be the irreversible change. That means whatever change is going to happen once, it won't go back to its original position or original texture. So that's why irreversible change is going to occur. So making it impossible for microbes to grow, or it will spoil the product. So it will not make it possible at any point. So that's why critical moisture content means you will have point of no return. The next question is, what kind of separation process is leaching? Now, in leaching, what you have to do is you will separate your solid from solid. Okay, so like for example, you can take the example of a tea. So while when you are going to make the tea, you will have the various type of soluble compounds. So in that, those compounds will give aroma, flavor when you are going to extract it by using the hot water. So leaching is nothing but separation of the solid component from a solid with the use of a solvent. So separation of solid from solid is leaching. The next is the term used fluidized bed. In fluidized bed dryer means what? So in fluidized bed dryer, if you are going to use the term fluidized bed, so it means your bed is formed during the drying. Okay, during the drying process, this type of bed is formed. So bed of solid particles behave like a fluid. Basically, the general principle of the fluidized bed is the concept of the fluidization. That means it will involve the movement of solid particle in a fluid-like state. Okay, it will move the solid particle in a fluid-like state. Now, in the fluidized bed dryer, what will happen? You will have some solid particles that are going to be surrounded by some hot air or gas. Okay, or any kind of gas, it is going to be surrounded. So for this, your solid material, which is present at the base, that is, we call it as a bed. So this will be of a solid particle and it will behave like a fluid. So the term fluidized bed means basically you will have the bed of a solid particle that is going to behave like a fluid. So option number D is the correct answer. Now the specific humidity of air is defined as what? So basically, always remember it is kg per kg of dry air. Okay. So the correct answer for this is the mass of water vapor per unit mass of dry air. That is kg per kg of dry air. This is the unit. So even if you are going to remember the unit, then also you will easily remember what is your specific humidity basically. So it is the mass of water vapor per unit mass of dry air. So the next question is, which heat exchanger design is particularly suitable for the high pressure and high temperature application? So always remember, whenever you will have the high pressure and high temperature application, so your heat exchanger design which will be feasible, it will be shell and tube heat exchanger. So this will be the shell and tube. So correct answer for this is shell and tube heat exchanger. Now, the next question is amino acids having the polar uncharged R group among the following are. Now, in amino acids, you will have the essential, non-essential one. Also, you will have the polar charge, polar uncharged, non-polar charge. Likewise, you will have. Okay. So here, your correct answer is your asparagine and glutamine. Okay. Your asparagine and glutamine. This is MSQ type, means there will be no negative marking. So the correct answer for this is asparagine glutamine, while your aspartic acid and glutamine, okay, A and C. While your aspartic acid and glutamic acid, these are the acids. So this will have the negative group. They will have the negative group. The next question is, what are the application of the xanthan gum? So xanthan gum application are basically all of the above. So it is also MSQ. So all the options are correct. Okay, thickener, stabilizer, emulsifier, foamanizer. The next question is, which of the following sugars are less sweet than sucrose? So for this, you should know what is the sweetness of a particular type of a sugar. So correct answer for this is fructose. Fructose is more sweet than the sucrose. Basically, fructose is 1.7 times sweeter than the sucrose. So remember this. The next question is the match the following. Just you have there are the products enlisted over here. Now you have to match them with a particular type of emulsion. Okay, like if you have the butter. Now butter is oil in fat or what? Oil in water or water in oil type of emulsion. So likewise you have to go. So the correct answer for this is SRPQ. Okay, so the option D is the correct answer. Like your curd is your gel, butter is your water in oil type of emulsion, whipped egg white is nothing but that is your foam. while mayonnaise is your oil in water type of emulsion. So correct answer is option D. The next question is the product and their flavoring compound are made. So the butter, you will have the diacetyl. Then for orange, you will have the limonene. For cloves, you will have the eugenol. And for mint, okay, fourth one for mint, you will have the menthol. So SRQP, option C. Okay. So these are the first 40 questions. Rest of the questions we will see in the next session. Thank you for joining.